Dear students, good morning to one and all. Previous class we discussed about the genetic code, salient features of genetic code, mutations and genetic code are the same to be discussed about the tRNA. This is a one type of RNA. So next today we are going to discuss about the translation. What is the meaning of translation? What is the process of translation? Which cell organelles are required in this translation process? In which type of RNA are required in this translation process? Now, in this protein synthesis, mainly involved in two steps. The first step are here transcription, second step are here translation. Already previous classes we detailedly discussed about the process of transcription. Once again, what is meaning of transcription? So in this process, the segment of DNA molecule carrying genetic information into the mRNA, that is called transcription. In this process, the segment of DNA molecule are copying genetic information in a DNA molecule into the mRNA, that is called transcription. Okay, now in this process, copying genetic information from DNA molecule into the mRNA, that is called transcription. But what is the meaning of translation? So translation means the process of synthesizing polypeptide chain. The process of synthesizing polypeptide chain on ribosomes. This is a ribosome. On ribosomes from mRNA codons. From mRNA codons, that is called translation. Dear students, in this translation process, to be required mRNA, ribosome larger subunit and smaller subunit. At the same time, to be required amino acids and tRNAs, and to be form of one larger size of long chain of polypeptide chain. Polypeptide chain. So in this process, to be synthesizing polypeptide chain on ribosomes. On ribosomes from mRNA codons. These are codons, that is called translation. In this protein synthesis process, mainly involved two steps. The first step transcription, the second step translation. So transcription by means in this process copying genetic information in the DNA molecule into mRNA, that is called transcription. Translation by means in this process the polypeptide chain to be synthesizing on ribosomes from mRNA codons, that is called translation. That is called translation. Okay now. So this is a mRNA. So this is a larger subunit and a smaller subunit of ribosome. This is a synthesizing of polypeptide chain. So these are tRNAs. These are tRNAs. This is a site. This is a P site. So this is a one tRNA structure. One tRNA structure. Now in eukaryotes, translation occurs in cytoplasm. So mainly observed the process of translation in eukaryotes as well as observed the process of translation in prokaryotic, especially bacterial cell. But here most of the eukaryotes transcription occurs in the nucleus, but translation occurs in the cytoplasm. In eukaryotes translation occurs in cytoplasm, but transcription occurs in the nucleus. In prokaryotes both transcription and translation occurs in cytoplasm. Okay, now in eukaryotes transcriptions occurs in the nucleus and translation occurs in the cytoplasm, but in prokaryotes some of the bacterial cell transcription and translation both are occurs in the cytoplasm. This is very important area here. Next, coming to during translation, the order of sequence of amino acids. The order of sequence of amino acids so is defined by the sequence basis. Is defined by the sequence basis in the mRNA. Is defined by the sequence basis in the mRNA. Next, coming to the amino acids are bonded to each other. The amino acids are bonded to each other. The amino acids are bonded to each other. This is a bond. The amino acids are bonded to each other. So by peptide bonds, between them peptide bond formation is an energy dependent reaction. So the peptide bond is always between of the two amino acids. One amino acid of carboxyl group and another amino acid of amino group. So there will be form of one peptide bond. So this peptide bond is always dependent upon the energy requirement reaction. Energy requirement reaction to utilizing of the some amount of the energy. Okay, now this is peptide bond. This is peptide bond. So those peptide bonds will be forming a one polypeptide chain. By means the arrangement of one sequence of amino acids to be appear in this polypeptide chain. The amino acids are bonded to each other by peptide bonds. Between them peptide bond formation is an energy dependent reaction. And generally how to formation of peptide bond? By means each time to be bring the one amino acid in different regions of the cytoplasm, that is tRNA. So what is the main function of tRNA? So the main function reads the genetic code. The tRNA mainly reads the genetic code. That is anticodon and reads the mRNA and sense codon. So the tRNA is always reads the genetic code, that is anticodon opposite to sense codons, and bring the amino acids in different regions of the cytoplasm. Bring the amino acids in different regions of the cytoplasm. For the site of protein synthesis. This is the main function of tRNA. Okay, now. So tRNA is always helping reads the genetic code and bring the amino acids in different regions of the cytoplasm for the site of protein synthesis. So amino acids are activated by ATP molecules, and then the activated amino acids are acylated amino acids are bonded amino acid as better end of tRNA. This process is called charging of tRNA or amino acids of tRNA. Dear students, so this is a structure of tRNA. In this tRNA containing mainly 4 parts. First part amino acid binding site, second part ribosomal recognition site, third part anticodon loop, fourth part enzymes recognition loop. These are four parts in tRNA. tRNA is look like of clover leaf like model structure to be discovered by Foley. Clover leaf like model of secondary structure of tRNA to be appeared inverted L shape. Inverted L shape. In this tRNA consisting of four major parts. They are namely first one amino acids binding site. So second part, so ribosomal recognition loop. Third part anticodal loop. Fourth part enzymes recognition loop. So dear students, so amino acids are activated by, so amino acids are required from protein synthesis. So how many amino acids are required for protein synthesis? 20 amino acids. 20 amino acids. So 20 amino acids to be forming of how many codons? 64 codons. 64 codons. 20 amino acids are to be making a 64 codons. But out of which 61 codons are sense codons and 3 codons are stop codons. So but here, so each of the amino acids to be carrying only one tRNA. Each time one tRNA to be carrying only one amino acid in the ribosome. In the ribosome. So first of all, amino acid to be activated. So in this amino acid to be utilizing the some energy molecule, that is ATP molecule. So it is known as activated amino acid or acylated amino acid. So this activated amino acid or acylated amino acid are attached to the 3' end. CCA codon of 3' end of tRNA. This process is called charging of tRNA or amino acids of tRNA. So dear students, protein synthesis mainly depend upon to the amino acids and ribosomes as well as tRNA. So this tRNA occurs in the cytoplasm. So in this tRNA, each time to be bring the one amino acid in different regions of the cytoplasm. So in this 20 types of amino acids to be attached the 3' end of the tRNA. 3' end of the tRNA, that is amino aspartate site. Amino aspartate site or amino acids binding site. So this process is called charging of tRNA or acylation of tRNA. Why? Because this tRNA are utilizing the ATP molecules. Okay now. Once again, the amino acids are bonded to each other by peptide bonds. Between them, peptide bond formation is an energy dependent reaction. So amino acids are activated by ATP molecules, adenosine triphosphate molecules, and then the activated amino acids, are acylated amino acids. So are bonded amino acid aspartate end of 3,1 tRNA. Amino acids aspartate end or 3' end. So in this process is called charging of tRNA or amino acylation of tRNA. Okay, now next coming to when two such type of amino acids, amino acylation of tRNA. So two tRNAs are to be carrying up two amino acids. So that is when two such type of amino acylation of tRNA are brought close enough at A site and P sites of larger subunit of ribosome. larger subunit of ribosome. Dear students, ribosome is one of the larger cell organelle to be carry out protein synthesis. In ribosomes are of two types. One is 80S type of ribosome. Second one is 70S type of ribosome. So 80S type of ribosome are present in eukaryotes. 70S type of ribosome are present in prokaryotes. And 80S type of ribosome to be divided into two subunits. So one is a larger subunit, that is 60S. Another one is a smaller subunit, that is 40S. 40S. So this is a larger subunit, that is 60S. This is a smaller subunit, that is 40S, especially in eukaryotic ribosome. And prokaryotic ribosome, the 70S type of ribosome consists of two subunits. One is a larger subunit, that is 50S. Another one is a smaller subunit, that is 30S. That is 30S. So these are two types of ribosomes. Dear students, ribosome is one of the largest cell organelle to be carry out protein synthesis. So mainly involved ribosomes are in protein synthesis process. And ribosomes are of two types. Okay now, one is 80S type of ribosome, second one 70S type of ribosome. 80S type of ribosomes are seen in all eukaryotic organisms. 70S type of ribosomes are seen in all prokaryotic organisms. And 80S type of ribosomes and 70S type of ribosomes are divided into two subunits. One is a larger subunit, another one is a smaller subunit. So in eukaryotes, the larger subunit, that is 60S, smaller subunit, that is 40S. In prokaryotes, larger subunit, that is 50S, smaller subunit, that is 30S. Before the protein synthesis, these two subunits are get separated. Beginning of the protein synthesis process, these two subunits are get attached by the involvement of one divalent ion, that is known as Mg+2, magnesium ion. In generally, these ribosome subunits, two subunits are get separately into the cytoplasm, pre-protein of the cytoplasm. So beginning of the protein synthesis process, these two subunits of ribosomes get attached to be make a one larger size of the cell organelle, that is ribosome. So these larger subunit and smaller subunit, get attached by one divalent cation, that is Mg2+. This Mg2+ of divalent cation is closely associated with the smaller subunit of ribosome and the larger subunit of the ribosome. Okay now. So 70S type of ribosome are to be appeared prokaryotic organisms. 80S type of ribosomes are to be appeared in eukaryotic organisms. So to be observed the process of translation in eukaryotic organisms. So dear students, this is a one ribosome. So this ribosome consisting of two subunits. One is a larger subunit, another one is a smaller subunit. So the larger subunit, that is 60S, smaller subunit, that is 40S. What is the importance of larger subunit and what is the importance of smaller subunit of ribosomes? So dear students, this is a smaller subunit. So mRNA, messenger RNA, is always attached to the smaller subunit of ribosome in eukaryotic organisms or prokaryotic organisms. And larger subunit of ribosome are containing two sites. One is A site, second one is P site. A site means amino acid site, P site means peptide site. So those two sites are attached to the transfer RNAs. So these transfer RNA within attached to the P site and A site to be forming of peptide bonds. Those peptide bonds to be appeared more than two. So that is to be appeared in chain-like system. That is known as a polypeptide chain. That is known as a polypeptide chain. Polypeptide chain. Okay now. So this is a mRNA. This mRNA is always attached to the smaller subunit of ribosome. So this is a larger side of the ribosome. This larger subunit of the ribosome containing P site and A site. P site and A site. Next, coming to peptide bond between them would be flavored energetically peptide transferase catalase enzyme. Peptide transferase catalase enzyme. Peptide bond between of the two amino acids. So the first carboxyl group of amino acid and the second amino group of amino acid to be making a one peptide bond with the help of one enzyme that is known as peptide transferase catalase. Peptide transferase catalase enzyme. So the peptide bond formation between the amino acids. How many amino acids? Two amino acids. Two amino acids to be make a one peptide bond. This is very important here. Peptide bond is always found between of the first carboxyl group of amino acid and the second amino group of another amino acid. This is very important, and with the help of one enzyme, that is peptide transferase catalase enzyme. Peptide transferase catalase enzyme. Okay now, thank you.